Order. I call Dr. Kem.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Improving our nation's infrastructure is a significant part of this government's business growth agenda. This bill, the key aims of this legislation to simplify the way transport projects are planned, funded and undertaken, eliminate the duplication that exists throughout the system, and to better align the regional and nationwide strategies. I commend this bill to the House.
Order. I understand the next call is a split call. Chris Farr, 45 minutes.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Jerry Brownlee in his opening remarks said that this bill was about cutting red tape and saving money. Well, I think we call that an exercise in political spin, because under this piece of legislation, the government only has to do three things, and that is give effect to the GPS in terms of transport for any transport decision it makes to be effective and efficient. So I guess when you consider what the transport agencies used to take into consideration, it is cutting a lot of red tape. But let's look, because it's always the case with this government, the devil is in the detail. The devil is in the detail. So what kind of red tape are we cutting here? Well, the transport agency used to have to take into consideration safety. Wow. It used to have to take into consideration. But that's red tape under this government, so let's get rid of that. After a weekend, Queen's Birthday weekend, where we had no deaths on our roads, and congratulations to everyone involved in that, we're removing the need for safety to be taken into consideration when this government is making its roading decisions. So under this government, the safety on our roads is red tape, so that should be cut. So let's look what else the government is removing from the consideration that we have to take into consideration, those things we need to take into consideration. Our roading solutions being integrated. So now we're just going to keep building more and more motorways. Don't worry about what freight we move on the sea. Don't worry about our air transport. Don't worry about our rail transport. Let's just blindly keep building roads, because that's exactly what this national government has been doing. And funnily enough, we also no longer need to take account of, because this government thinks it's red tape, the environmental responsibility that we as New Zealanders have around the building of our roads. So we don't need to worry about the environment anymore with building our roads. Let's just build it, and whatever happens to the environment, let's just do it. Don't worry about it, because under this government, being environmentally responsible is red tape. Let's cut it, let's get rid of it, it's gone in this bill. And also one that I'm going to get into more detail around what is happening in my area. This government says that it no longer has a social responsibility when it's building roads in our communities. So damn the people, damn the effects that will have on communities. Don't worry about the people, let's just build the road and let's just get it done. It no longer has to take that into effect, because the feelings of people in those communities are red tape, so let's cut it. And unfortunately that's been the situation, Mr. Speaker, for the communities of Raumati South, Raumati Beach and on the Kapiti coast, where this government wants to build the Kapiti Expressway. Now, Mr. Brownlee also said that this was about saving money and economic development. Well, Mr. Speaker, that's not necessarily the case, because the government's plan to build the expressway rolled over the top of a $350 million plan that the Labour Party introduced late in its last term, and introduced an expressway, a monstrosity through the Kapiti coast, which is going to cost New Zealanders $515 million, a considerable amount more than what was planned. But, Mr. Speaker, when you talk in terms of the economic benefit of the Kapiti Expressway that this government is going to build, it's a dog, because a leaked report last year from the engineering consultants Becker showed that the economic benefit ratio of the Kapiti Expressway is 0.2. So for every dollar that New Zealand taxpayers spend on this road, we're going to get an economic benefit of just 20 cents. So in terms of economic development and a good return on money, the Kapiti Expressway is an absolute dog. The New Zealand taxpayer is going to lose money by spending money on this expressway, when what we could have had was a better local solution for the people of Kapiti. Now, one of the things that this bill does is it removes the local voice from communities when transport solutions are being offered by this government. And this is absolutely a trend of theirs, and that is very, very sad. But I just want to go back to the Kapiti Expressway, because It was a funny twist of events because when the National Government came into power, the member up in Kapiti, the member for Otaki, Nathan Guy, was absolutely cool with Labour's plan. He wanted the Kapiti, the Western Link Road. He said he was working hard with the local mayor to get this project started because the funding had been allocated and that the community wanted this road. Unfortunately, Stephen Joyce and the National Party's plan to keep building roads of monstrosity roads rolled Mr Guy, and the Kapiti, the Western Link Road, turned into the Kapiti Expressway. It's another example that this government is blindly building motorways.
I call Denise Roach.
Thank you, Mr Speaker. I rise